I'm going to do an introduction first. Okay, welcome everyone. We're doing a training today on the new acquisition for Longevity, David Allen Capital. Before we get going on to that though, I want you to kind of, it's interesting now, Longevity talks about having what they call their verticals. Okay, obviously they present the company in several different ways. There's the 90 for life longevity in the middle, and then everything kind of like as a pedal coming out of it. But recently, you start talking about different verticals within the business. The nutrient side of things is still very much the core of longevity. Okay? But then they've also brought on all these other companies involved in what. I was talking to a prospect last week. Young man, he's in business school, and he really was looking at that as, we're talking about longevity as a business, all right? And I think that the way I was laying it out and presenting it for him is that he is the CEO of his company, but then you can then have like vice presidents of nutrition, vice presidents of jewelry, vice president of clothing, vice president of makeup. So it was interesting when I was kind of sitting down and walking through, strategizing how he was set up his business. We go, yeah, you know what? I know someone who'd be really interested in doing this and taking the lead on that. I know someone who'd be very interested in taking the lead, the lead on that. So I want you to begin thinking about your business in a way that, as you said, you are the CEO of your company, but then who do you want to bring on as vice presidents within your group? And obviously, they're the CEOs of their company, but looking at one of the advantages that longevity brings to the company is that we have all these different business kind of divisions within our group. And I want you to start thinking. So one of the things that we've just acquired is a company called David Allen Capital. Now, I don't know anything about it, I haven't researched it, but the people who I've spoken to who have and have looked into it are actually very excited about this acquisition. So what I'm going to do, I want to bring up someone who I get to work with a lot. What do you mean?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Someone who I've worked with a lot, and I've got to say that this is one of the hardest working men that I've ever, hardest working people I even know. It's like, you can't keep him down. He keeps on working, he keeps on showing up. And Jim Rohn talks about that you work with people who deserve it because they're taking the action, they're taking the activity, they're doing the work that they need to do. Now, as we all know, we can do the activity and it doesn't always pay out, does it? Eric Laughlin talks about, though, that if you're doing the activity, sometimes you get paid today, sometimes you get paid tomorrow, but you will always get paid. And one of the things that I think the people who are successful within network marketing, the people that just keep on working. You occasionally get, those rising stars that come in, but they've been doing it for a while, or they've already got a network or whatever. But I think the real beauty of network marketing is the people that this is new to them and they just get in and just keep on chugging. And I think that's one of the great things about our team. We just keep on chugging. And Robert is one of those people that really exemplifies someone who just keeps on chugging. He just keeps on working, just keeps on working, just keeps on working. And I think that I know that Robert will be successful because I know he's doing the activity. Just as I know that everyone sitting in this room right now is going to be successful, because I know you guys are doing the activities as well. You're turning up, you're showing up, and you're doing the work. Sometimes you get paid today, sometimes you get paid tomorrow, but you'll always get paid. So with that, Robert has training in finances. He understands this. He's really looked at this. He thinks that this is a great division group within longevity. So I tasked Robert last week. You go, okay, dig into it, show us how we're going to do it. So I really want to thank Robert for taking the time to really research this and come in and do what we need to do. Okay.
Yeah, this is when I locked onto this. This is just many of you know my story. I've lost 100 pounds. I'm big, getting healthy on 90 for life. But you talk to many people with that, and some of them, it doesn't ring a bell. Especially millennials. They're healthy as heck. They're built of iron. They don't need anything now. And this, when I heard about it, it really just turned me on. I kind of went nuts with getting involved in it. There's two calls in the back office right now. Actually, there may be three because he just did another one on Thursday. Every Thursday, I believe it's 5 or 6 o'clock here, Mountain Standard Time. He does a call, David, from David Allen Capital, and just goes through the details. But it's really simple. And the first thing out of his mouth is we love to lend to small business owners. Just love to lend. And that you don't hear nowadays. It's if you're a small business, you have a tough time getting the money. If you go into you need to take advantage of a situation, you do some expansion, you're a contractor, you've got all your money's out in jobs that haven't been paid for yet, you got new ones coming up, you don't have access to that kind of stuff. The David Allen Capital, it's just, when I looked at it, it's crazy. It's they work with a group of banks. There's 10 to 12 banks that between them lend over $4 billion a year. So that's kind of the market that we're talking about right now. $4 billion. It goes out to small business owners. It's a cash flow loan. It's from 6 to 18 months. It's not based on interest rates, because one of the big things, like, what's an interest rate? You know, you got 7%, 3%. You know, you got a great interest rate on your home, and you buy a home for $500,000, and all of a sudden you're paying back $750,000. That 3%? I don't know. So what they do is they quote these loans to the business owners. That it's $20,000, it's $200,000. It's going to cost you this over the life of the loan. This is what you pay back. This is what you borrow. This is what you pay back. So it's very simple. They pay out to us just for sharing a piece of paper or a postcard or a business card. With that, they pay out to us 2 to 4% of that loan. So you get a $200,000 loan, and it usually funds. It's approved within the 1 day, and they're approved, or they're funded typically within 3, less than a week. So if you need capital, you need it now. Boom. This website. This is one of their sheets on their site. Small business loans. They've got a little PDF on there. There's one for healthcare industry. There's one for auto industries. But you can fill this out, put your little name at the bottom of it, and your longevity number. You don't have to worry, you're up and running. You don't worry about registering on their site. It's www.davidallencapital.com. It's not in the back office yet. It will be there probably, I heard, after leadership or after the convention, but now I'm hearing kind of maybe June, something like that. But it will be in there. However, they'll pay out. Basically, once the loan is funded, as soon as David Allen Capital gets the money, they will mail us the money the next day, or the next following Friday. So the most you'll be out is 3 Fridays before you see your money. So then it pays. It also pays downline too. So like you get a loan, or you sign someone up. They can sign up just David Allen Capital. Go in there. It's free on their site. Become a broker. They're immediately able. They're basically a longevity rep there for no down payment, nothing like that. But then they can't really sell anything from longevity until they merge the sites. So it's all in the back office there. David Allen Capital has a pretty good website. For those of you that want to go there, check it out. The password for it is broker1234, all one word. Just put that in. You can go to the back office and get access to these sheets. Well, one of the things top industries list: general automotive repair, dentists, physicians, beauty salons, gift shops, restaurants, furniture stores, plumbing and heating. All of these guys occasionally leave money. And it's not available. I mean, you can get a small business loan after 6 months, maybe. They approve maybe 30% out of the people that apply. According to David down here, these guys basically approve 80% of the loans that are applied to them. You need to have a personal credit score of 500 points or better. 1 year's business taxes, last year's business taxes, 3 months of bank account statements, and if your merchant account, you use a lot of Visa and MasterCard, 3 months of that. And that's pretty much, and a driver's license. You can go online to David Allen Capital. You can help the guys or gals just fill out the form there, and the David Allen Capital takes over and calls them up, goes through the paperwork. They will collect those papers for you. Or you can be, what they recommend is you be the loan guy. Oh yeah. You go out, you help the guy, you collect the thing and get it to David Allen Capital. That's better from what they're saying to get referrals from that. So, but you can do it either way. If you don't want to be at, just another little stick in your bag that you can use to get somebody. Find somebody, whether it's health, wealth, or time. This is one of the things that we can get back. This will pay out quick. On there, on the website, in the back, there's an order page where you can order business cards. I think it's $39 for 500. Or you can get postcards. It's about $125 for 250, or you can get 500. I was conservative and ordered 250, and they haven't even come yet. And I'm going back on there tomorrow and ordering 250 more, just so I can get them out. And David, and all those calls that are on your back office, David mentions that there's one, his wife handed out, she was handing out to a beauty store, she was having her nails done, handed out a postcard before Christmas, forgot all about it, and they just called like 2 weeks ago and they were funded in a couple of days. She forgot all about the cards. So the cards are great. If you look on the postcards there, kind of got the whole story on both back and front, and that was one of my thoughts. It's like, okay, they're all there. Let's get a bunch of cards and just start flipping them. So you go up to, hi. Massage business. Cool. So you ever need extra capital for that? All right. Well, here. This is my David Allen Capital card. I represent them. We love to earn money, loan money to business owners. If you ever need capital, give me a call. Let's help you out. It's pretty much as simple as that. You know, how many businesses do you guys go in a day? You know, just keep a whack of these cards with and say, hey, are you the owner? Is this a franchise? Is this a corporate office? Need some businesses? You own any contractors? Here, here's my card. I represent David Allen Capital. We love to loan money to small business owners. And go ahead. Question?
And then plus credit score, 1 year taxes, 3 month bank statements, 3 months credit card statements, ID. Do they not need a business plan or
No. This is totally based upon the cash flow. And how these loans they work. It's like, let's say, you know, the biggest deal is like with loans. It's like, oh, you borrow the money, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the month, you got $3,000 loan payment. You got nothing in the bank. So these guys will basically micro draft your account every day with a monthly payment for 1/30th of the monthly payment for this loan. So that way, it's not a big hit on your company. It's like that. That's how it works. It's like they take the application, you give them the paper, they take the application, they put it out to the banks. Usually they'll have the first offers coming in within a couple hours, and then within 24 hours, usually everybody's weighed in, and then David Allen Capital presents the best offer to the customer, and he chooses whether or not to do that. If he chooses to do that, most of them require a paper app, which is what he signs up. So they shoot them out an app, they sign it, they get it back as quick as possible, and then the loan's funded directly to their bank account within 3 days. So yes.
I just heard part of the call about the bank, and my understanding was you also had to have $100,000.
Yes, that's right. I skipped over that. It's the sweet spot is $10,000 a month or $100,000 in revenue a year, in business a year, and then the 500 credit score or higher, and that's the main criteria. Now the sweet spot in the loans are 200 or 20,000 to $250,000. That's the sweet spot. That does not say that they won't lend on either side of that. It's just that's where they're the most competitive, and that's where they do the greatest good for everybody. There is also this sheet is on the website. The top industries list. There's also a prescribed industries list. And the way that was explained was they're prescribed because they're not necessarily known. So if you run into those car dealers and something like that, it's like for a car dealer, you can easily have a $10,000 a month cash flow and not be making any money and be able to make payments. So I can understand that. So if you get someone on there, just go ahead and present them and let them figure it out if they're eligible for those loans. What else? On there, on the David Allen site, in their back office is a prospecting script. Postcard, and it's designed for the postcard. It's just kind of like what I said, but it gives you an idea of what you can say. But me, it's not. I've been selling to businesses for 30 years. It's simple for me to go and say, hey, is this your place? Who's the boss? Where's the boss? Here. I represent David Allen Capital. If you ever need a quick loan, cash flow loan, keep me in mind. For the common person, what I say is, it's like the other day, coming home, there's my neighbor across the street. I presented the longevity 90 for life to her. She's not really interested. But I got out of the car and says, come here, you gotta see this. And so I showed her this. Who do you know business owners that need money? And she goes, all of them. And she's a truck driver. She delivers cars, transport. It says here, see this little piece of paper? See that name down there? Go there, register, put your name in it, start handing these out. You get 2 to 4% of loans come out. That's how I present it. This number is my longevity number. So they go in, they register, use my longevity number as the broker number, and then it's just like signing up somebody in your downline. It goes through. It's not, you won't see it until they merge the sites, which is several months out. But again, they'll still get paid. The other thing he said is like when they get, he said it hasn't happened yet, but if they get somebody that applies and doesn't have the number, they will basically hold those funds in escrow until they figure out where it is. If you figure out later on that one of your persons got a loan and it was you that referred him, he said, we'll give it to you. So it seems like a no-brainer. And I know when I heard this, I've worked really hard getting people in and getting them healthy, and some will, some won't. And it's like boom, boom, boom. But I saw this, it's like immediately, this is a piece of cake. It's upfront money, and they pay. You have to get the percentage, but they also pay BV and PV on the whole thing, and just like another product.
I think it's 1%.
I think it's 1 or 2% of the loan or something like that goes in there. Right. And the other thing is, Andrew asked last week, so what happens, Andrew and a couple other people asked, what happens if a loan defaults? And David texted me back and said, doesn't matter. If the lender might go after him, take him to the court, whatever, but it has nothing to do with us. They won't claw back that commission or anything. So pretty much painless. You got.
So who's the loan with? Is it with David Capital? Is it with the
No, David Allen Capital basically is the marketing arm for representing 12 or so national banks. These are good. These loans are available here and in Canada. They're working on Puerto Rico from the call I heard this morning, but who knows that? But I mean, I don't have anybody out of in Puerto Rico, so I don't care right now. But they're going to basically expand this as far as fast as they can.
Another thing that if you do an online application, then you only have an option of one bank that will fund it. If you do a paper application, then you have a bunch of different banks.
Right. Because there is an online,
Yeah.
there is an online application form that you can put in, but like she said, only one bank will accept it. So if that bank doesn't like them or you don't like the rates from that, that's all you got. So there's a form, an interest. Basically, it's a pre-qual form on the David Allen site. You go in there, or your customer goes in there, fills that out, or you fill it out for them, and boom, then David Allen takes over. You collect the paper, you get it to David Allen, and then they're pretty much that. And that's what he really recommended to do. He gets the most referrals of being the loan guy. Come out there and take the paper, be the not the only way he gets referrals from that. He said you probably can get referrals from the other way, but not necessarily that way. If you just send them the number. So
okay, so from a business model, what I'm looking at then is, so there's obviously scripts, and I would like us to go through the scripts here,
Right.
so we know what that is.
yeah.
But then the next stage is then you're recommending actually then to develop the skills of being a loan officer. Would that be the best?
It's broker. Yeah.
Loan broker.
Yeah, loan broker.
So what would that involve? Can you run us through what would be involved if you were?
Well, being a loan broker is like, hey, when you introduce yourself to someone or a business owner, you say, hi, I'm Robert Estes, and I represent with David Allen Capital. Here's my card, here's my postcard. We love loaning money to small businesses. And then however you're comfortable going past that, it's like, if you ever need a loan, or you can dig it out there. It's like, hey, how's your cash flow now? Have you thought about a loan, anything like that? If you need a loan, give me a call. I'll come over, we'll help you through the process. All we need is basically a driver's license, your 3 months of bank account statements, and 3 months of merchant account statements, and your last year's tax return. I'll get that into David Allen Capital. We'll shop it between 12 banks, and as soon as we get that in, we'll start getting offers. We'll present you with the best offer, and at that point in time, you will, you can take it, or if that doesn't work, if that's not in your business plan, I'd love to help you again. So, he also stated to don't send people there just to get pre-qualified to see if they can get a loan, because their guys on the other side are non-commissioned, and if they start getting a bunch of what if kind of things, there's got to be a little bit of a bottleneck occurring there with that. Questions?
Yeah, but you have to have $100,000 in sales. I mean, that's not really a small business.
No, exactly.
No.
Exactly. That's right.
I mean, you're making pretty dang good money at $100,000.
Right.
So I'm with you. I'm seeing that there's. I mean, you almost need to have a pre-qualification step in there.
Right. Well, if you present, it says right on the business card, or not the business card, but the postcard, what the pre-qual steps are. So if you have $100,000, did you do it? And you could go into that in your script when you're talking to them. You have $100,000, and you pretty much can tell when you walk into a business whether they've got $100,000 or not. But however, if you don't have $100,000, maybe one of your friends might know it. Do you know any contractors? Do you know any landscapers? And because there's a bunch of cash flow issues, because everybody's holding up their money. It's like you get all your jobs out, you're done, you've got everything, and you're just waiting for money coming in, and you got somebody stringing you out in 90 days, and all of a sudden you get 2 or 3 of those backed up, and any kind of business is in trouble. Whether you're $100,000, $300,000.
What if you're like 93,000? Don't bother.
No, he said basically this is my sweet spot, and it's not necessarily we won't lend less than $20,000, and we won't lend more than $250,000. So if you're right on the neck there, I'd go ahead and put one in. Say, listen, here it is.
Better rates in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
So we're at $20,000 and you make $100,000 a year, that's a little past my peak. So I would still see if they have different options.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no to anyone even if they're only for $40,000 a year.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even pursue it, but.
Yeah, but again, from a business standpoint, so a business standpoint.
Again, these loans are 6 months to 18 months. They're short-term cash flow loans to let somebody take advantage of, expand the room, get more business in, get some inventory, those kinds of things. And if your business and you're up against the wall, like I had one of my friends, oh, these rates are really high, and it's just, what does it matter? If you need the money and you can see that this will work, let the business owner decide. Don't you make the decision for them. Present it.
This would be great for a retail store.
Right.
Like ski industry, because those guys have to get all their stock ahead of time before the ski season opens. unless he's. They've got those low season spots.
Yeah, the one thing is they gotta be in business here. That's what they wanna see. And I would think that's probably pretty, fake, because the other ones, you see various things on their site, that number 20 or 100,000 and 1 year fluctuates, 3 months, you've seen some stuff in there. So if you have somebody that really wants, first one I went to my local pizza guy. He said, here, Frankie, what, did you see that? Check this out. I gave him this sheet right here. And he said, first thing out of his mouth was 250 only, huh? I said, no. And he's looking at, unbeknownst to me, I talked to him earlier, and he's looking to open another restaurant. He's probably going to use this to get some stuff off the ground, because his traditional guy that he got his original money from for the little restaurant that he's in now, that's just going nuts in my little town, he says that's a little bit too big for me to swallow. So this gives them the option to go out and see what's out there. If it doesn't work, they have the ability to say no. And it's probably is a credit hit, but they didn't really discuss credit. I think it's primarily, they'll do a personal credit score, and like I said, because they have to be over 500. It's like pretty much you're moving, it's got a job, you got 500. So.
Let's run through each of the businesses and just kind of look at the brainstorming around how best to approach this.
I would say, mine's pretty like just how do you present the 90 for life? It's kind of, you got to see what they're doing. Hey, all right, you the owner, what do a relationship with them, ask the questions. Like I said, Frankie, who do you know that needs some money? Know any businesses that could use a quick loan? Okay.
What are we looking at this time?
Top industries list. This is what from their website. First one, general automotive repair, dentists.
Okay, we're just kind of around this room through. Okay, so because it was general automotive repair. So what was
general automotive repair? You go in the auto shop. This is, are you the owner? Yeah, you got a lot of cars in here.
Give me an example of
what it would be. Okay.
Who would be a company like the like a Micro or anything like that?
You would, the first thing out of my mouth, if you're in that situation, is this a company store or is this a franchise store? Is this your store or are you just the manager for this store? And then if you're the manager for that store, he really doesn't have any cash flow responsibilities with that. So what I would do with that way is, hey, I'm David Allen Capital. If you ever know any business owners that might need some money here, we love to loan to small business owners. If it was the owner of a Mako and he says, yeah, I'm the owner, this is a franchise location, and it said, do you ever run into any cash flow crunches? Do you ever get too many cars in here and the insurance companies haven't paid you yet for those cars? It's like, this could help you out a little bit and allow you to get through some crunch time if that's a concern. Have you ever had those concerns? And he's going to say yes or no. Most of the guys I ask is, yeah, we need money all the time. Because my wife works for a staffing company. She's a bookkeeper for them. And sometimes, it's a staffing company that's been in business for 20, 30 years. And sometimes all of a sudden, all the accounts receivable start stacking up and there's no money in the bank and they got to put 300 paychecks out that week, that Friday. Now, if you see this and your money's not in there, you could easily put one of these in, get an answer within a day and get funded within 3. And I've seen them go through the process with the bank and selling their accounts receivable and getting that note behind there. And that's a many month process getting that done. And it's not cheap. So this will do that. Dentists, physicians, beauty salons. This was the first gig. David's wife was in getting her nails done. Put the lady a postcard before Christmas, and here just a month ago or a few weeks ago, it came back. They needed a loan to, I think, expand the beauty salon and fix it up a little bit and take advantage of a business opportunity there, and it came back in. She forgot about that in and out. Restaurants, you'd be in the same place. Maybe a restaurant needs to get some new equipment, and funding those things. I mean, ovens and refrigerators and those kinds of things are really expensive, and trying to get loans from your bank or from a small business loan, it was pretty much real time consuming. And your banker is basically, they won't lend you money unless you don't need it. Pretty much. Furniture stores, plumbing, heating, air conditioning contractors. A lot of those guys are one-man shops. They drive around their van and boom, they got a big job. They get 3 or 4 jobs going, and then all of a sudden, again, they back up. Maybe they haven't been paid, or they've got a little problem. They got to tweak over there and go back before the guy releases their check. An HVAC guy easily will do over $100,000 a year. If it's a established, again, 1 year in business, $100,000 a year, and pretty much you can basically bail him out, because if he's got all his money out, and his suppliers are saying, well, we're not going to give you any more stuff till you pay off for these other ones that you've got, and he's got a big job he can take care of, but he's got to start it. How's he going to make cash flow? Yeah, right. Yeah, hotels, motels, I'm not sure where that would come in, but again, if you got to replace all your flipping beds, and you're a mom and pop hotel, not a chain, even if you are a chain, I think those are pretty much standalone. Best Westerns, those kinds of things. Supermarkets, grocery stores, gas stations, nail salons. It says retailers except tobacco stores. There's some kind of, I think tobacco stores must be on their prescribed list. I also looked, personal trainers are on their prescribed list. I haven't figured that one out yet either. I'll have to ask David one time. Personal trainers, or no, it was physical therapists or personal trainers. I think it was personal trainers. Yeah. Clothing stores, electronic stores, cleaning services, veterinarians, home health care services, home furnishing stores, optometrists, bars and liquor stores are on here. I know a lot of bars and liquor stores, bars especially. I'm familiar with one in our little town there, because I'm on the water board, and they kept not making their payments. They'd go through spurts where they make a bunch of money, and then all of a sudden they wouldn't go down, and then wouldn't make enough money, and then boom, they make a bunch of money, have a big deal, and whatever. It's just a way to even off the cash flow. If the owners need it, they're going to jump on it. If they don't need it, it's just like, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's pretty much laying down life. What I would really recommend, if this is something that you want to put in your toolbox, go on the back office and listen to the first recorded training on this, and it's there's a David Allen Capital. You see it on the recorded calls. This is David Allen Capital, and it's Thursday night's call. So there's 3 of them in there, and every Thursday night there'll be another one.
That's in the back office?
It's in the back office in the resource center.
Okay.
The calls themselves. Yeah, you got it. It's, I want to say March 11th was the first call.
But it's not,
Yeah, it says David Allen Capital right on the call. Yeah, it's on the stack list, in amongst all the hair on fire calls and all those other ones.
All right. So what about description?
Well, essentially, there's one I didn't really dig, but all I could find was this one. This is a postcard prospecting process. This, hello, my name is Robert with David Allen Capital. Are you the owner manager? If the owner or manager is not there, could you please see to it that they receive this information? Because we're helping many business owners in the area get access to funds for growing. Flip them the card, flip them the postcard. If the owner manager is available, then proceed like this. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and drop off some information. I'm Robert Estes. I now represent David Allen Capital, who is a small business loan brokerage, and we focus on getting money from business owners such as yourself. Cool thing is, our lenders love to lend to business owners. Great thing about our program is that we are simple and fast. We don't require typical bank loan process. We can actually get you a decision in one day and funds within a week. Plus, we value cash flow and revenue more than credit score, so we have programs for people, all credit situations, compromise or excellent.
So the other thing we want to know, question is, why would anyone really be interested in this one? So you just kind of lay out all the advantages.
Right.
There. So can you go through those one at a time again? Because again, I mean, we need to know what what are the benefits for people looking at this.
If you're looking at the number one, it's simple, it's fast. You can get a decision within a day, funds within a week, right to your bank account, pretty much painless. Plus, we value cash flow. Cash flow doesn't necessarily relate to credit score. If you have cash flow that can pay back this loan, you're a good candidate. We'll shop that out to 8 to 10 banks, and we'll know literally within hours with some what the offers are, and we'll present you with that best offer.
So the focus, and I think that's right. The focus on cash flow.
Right.
Because there are plenty of people with cash flow.
Right. Yeah, right. And the thing is, if you need this, all of a sudden it's going to come up. It's like, shh. You're looking at your books one day, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, where's this money? We got these bills we got to pay. We got payroll we got to make. And we can't not pay our employees, and if we don't have the money in, you can get approval within a day and get funded within 3. And who cares? Really, at that point, the business owners cares what it costs. Right there, let's get it. Plus, the other advantage I didn't really go over is it's a 6-month to 18-month loan, and once you pay that loan back off 50%, you're eligible to get another loan. So you can extend that if you need to take advantage of another situation. Plus, the broker who set it up gets another commission for that loan. So it's pretty much almost like a revolving credit line, if you will. If you need it, there's some businesses that go through slow times. You have peak periods, and then we got to get to the next peak period. That's a great thing for it. If they're curious or ask questions, here's what you can say. We do loans from $10,000, $250,000, and even higher in a lot of cases. And again, we do this under a week without any hoops or financial inquiries. You don't have to have a audited credit, financial report and all this other stuff. And we have a very high approval and simple application process. Some of the bullet points from card action point. Yeah, hit some of the bullet points. There's a bullet points on the card. I should have brought the card, but might haven't come in the mail yet. I don't have a current need for any capital. That's fine. You may know someone who could, or you never know what type of opportunity may come up that we could help you take advantage of. You don't know somebody now, you may know somebody later. Look at my card. How much capital can I qualify with your company? The great thing about David on the Capital is that all we need is a short 1-page application to get started, and within 24 hours we can have your amount. What I heard him say on the calls is pretty much if they have a $10,000 a month cash flow, they're going to qualify for some loan in that vicinity, either a little bit less or a little bit higher. That's what they're going to be offered. Again, depending upon what it is, it could be high as 20,000, and it could be lower than whatever.
So if they have $10,000 cash
If they have, he said that the cash flow a month pretty much determines what loan amount that's kind of where the loan amount. If they had a $20,000 cash flow, the loan could be anywhere from 15 to 25. It could be higher based upon their whatever factors they use to judge these loans by. What are the rates? Here's the rates. We like to discuss cost or price more than a rate because there are so many definitions for rates, like I told you. But the cost is generally about 1.2% of the loan. Example, you borrow $100K and pay back $120K over 18 months, or borrow $50K and pay back $60K over 18 months. Sometimes it's lower than that, sometimes it's higher, but that's a ballpark. So when leaving, always encourage them to visit the website listed on your postcard using your broker ID. You can learn more there, and you can fill out a pre-qualification form in under 5 minutes. So it's pretty painless. And then I always say, hey, if you know of anybody that need some extra cash and would like to help me market these, go to that same website, put my name in, put that number in, and register to be broker free, and I'll help you. Give me a call. Call me with that number, and I'll set you up with some postcards. Is what I told people. So when those calls start coming in, I'm not enrolling them. I'm kind of that's a hoop I've given out because I said, hey, this is on the site right now. So, and it's got a space down here for put your information in as your broker on the bottom, and I can type that in a PDF form. There's a lot of people that can't type that in a PDF form. So it's a little bit tough to type, or you can handwrite it. Give me your number, and I'll make some of these up and done by. Give me a second. Questions? Actually, the payout. Yeah. I was gonna ask. Payout again. I'm not a payout kind of guy. I figure if I sell it, the money's in the bank. So again, let's see. Personal quest, direct pay, personal client acquisition, direct sales. It's the foundation of our DAC. We significantly reward you for attracting and retaining personal clients. 80% in 5-year loans closed the last month. That's kind of whether it's the 2 to 4%, what they're going to pay out, and it really depends on which bank they go after. Whether it's a 2% or a 4%. On an average, it runs at 3%, is what he says on his loan on his calls. But the commission plan is designed to allow you a full-time income from personal efforts alone. Our culture is one of attracting new clients via direct sales, and most of the commissions are paid out are done so on personal commissions. However, we'll also compensate you to create and coach a successful team of other brokers if you introduce other brokers to DAC. Loan commission value. When a new client is acquired, DAC will assign a loan commission value to that client. The loan commission value is the total amount the company is going to pay out in commissions as described in this compensation plan chart. Example, a $100,000 loan will generally create a $4,000 to $7,000 loan commission value. This means that DAC will pay out $4,000 to $7,000 in total commission to the broker and the referring brokers, according to the following bonus categories: direct pay personal commissions, direct pay team commissions, and other longevity commissions as shown in the longevity pay plan. When you refer other brokers to DAC, you are the enroller. You earn between 10% and 25% of loan commission value from their personally secured loans, even if you have to place them lower in your organization. You may also qualify to earn on their enrolled reps, your extended grower team. Downline, if you will. The number of personal clients you have acquired will determine the number of levels of enroller 3 and percentage 3. The number of personal clients you have acquired will determine the number of levels of enroller tree and the percentage amount that you are paid. You're qualified to earn a minimum of 10% of the loan value for your first 60 days on a personally enrolled representative, level 1. After one client is personally secured, you're also paid on level 2. When 3 clients, you increase to 15% on level 1. When 6 clients, you increase to 20% on level 1 and 10% on level 2 and 3. When 15 clients, you're increased to 25% on level 1, paid through level 4. He said in that first call that there will be 5-figure earners just on their personal efforts in marketing this to business owners this year. He said a week ago that he has currently 100 brokers in there. So it's like, listen, get your cards, get your paraphernalia, get comfortable, just start flipping cards out there. You know?
Thanks for listening. All right, let's practice down a little bit further in terms of sales. Go practice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna extend this a little bit. So you guys have heard me talk about Eric Laughlin's sales mountain. Okay. So the sales mountain is, the metaphor is that we're a guide taking someone up the mountain, top of the mountain being getting started. Okay, so you start at the bottom with appointment generation. No. Wow, I missed the first two. Lead generation. Sorry, lead generation. Appointment setting. Trust and rapport. Identify customer needs.
When I sent her the link and she's for VH and she says it starts at 2. So what if she did?
I don't know. Okay. Did she get my email?
I forwarded it to her.
But isn't she on Team Black Belt?
Oh,
She should be.
well, if she had, yeah.
Okay. And June's on, right? Did you say? So some people are on. Hello, people. Well, it'll be recorded. It's going to be recorded. So I will make sure to send her the link person. I'll send her a personal link with a smiley face with a picture of Robert. Okay. Identify customer needs. Yeah. Share the benefits. Well, you can move it, buddy. You can work it. Share the benefits. Okay. Close or ask for the order, and then objection handling. Okay. So let's now run through this process with this. Okay. So lead generation. So Robert's given us basically handing out cards. Okay. Are there any other lead generation systems we could see at this point? Okay, so lead generation, like take cards. Okay.
Cards, postcards.
Okay, postcards. Okay. And then you're just handing those out.
Hand those out.
Okay.
Put yourself in front of people. When it's groups or all of a sudden going back into what groups that I wasn't in before.
Okay. Okay, cold calling. So what was cold calling?
To me, I used to really dig in. There's two groups, there's several groups. Info USA was one. What's another? It's not down on Brad Street, but there's a couple of places that you can actually research and get the names of businesses in your area or whatever criteria. I go to your local library site, see what kind of research databases they have. Because the research databases at those county libraries, it used to allow you to get in Info USA, and you could put in all these criteria, and then we'll copy out a list with the business owners and the contact person or the phone number,
Cool.
and just
Okay.
slam down to it.
The Evergreen Library actually has a team there, a person that you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Specifically
Yeah.
to get the exact information you want.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a big thing, because that's expensive to do it. That's free for the libraries, you know.
Okay, Suze, you said Craigslist. How would you use Craigslist?
I go to the business part and put an ad for, medium-sized businesses looking for cash flow loans
Right.
or expansion loans.
Okay, cool.
Or go to the employment section and say, looking for loan brokers. You know?
Well, actually, yeah. Let's table that. I was going to come back to that one in a minute.
You can do that on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, LinkedIn would be another good one.
Right.
That one. Okay.
Be careful, we're kind of limited on that. I can't put my name out associated with another company where I get.
Well, you can, but
I can't, but I mean, if you have any kind of professional designation, like financial, those kinds of things.
yeah, we don't have that problem. Okay. So we've got a couple of lead generation systems. Okay, already fired up. Okay. Yeah, chambers.
Yeah.
Chamber, you've got mixers,
Civic organization.
civic organizations. Look at this.
Every door.
You know,
US mail. Hit up your rotator. The other one is, oh, sure. And the post office also has a every door mailer. Basically for 17 cents, you can nail down zip codes, businesses, and postcards and give you the rest.
What's the bulk mail? It's less than that, right? Yeah. Probably a bulk mail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
I mean, I think
But I think
it's really.
one of the things with every door, they also have some kind of filters that you can.
So one thing that's come to light in just reading this, which I kind of touched on, but we're focusing on personal production. So going in and talking to a business owner, see if we can place the loan, get our commission. But you can also refer other people to DAC, David Allen Capital, and then you're the enroller, and you can get just like some of the CEO pack.
Yeah.
We can get commission.
So, yeah, so let's, yeah, this is great. I want to come back to that. I was going to kind of wrap it up around looking at that. But let's just kind of concentrate on personal production right now, and then I was going to kind of tie that in. Okay, so, now, can we do, we're just talking about David Allen Capital now, but could we also be doing this with the other products within there as well? Okay, so it's doing a multiple training here. Okay, that's lead generation.
And I saw it on the site. They haven't developed it yet. It's beta right now. At the bottom of the David Allen Capital site is also a merchant processing. So they're going to roll into that as well. For Visa cards and all that kind of things too. So
Cool. All right. Okay, everyone got all the lead generations down? Okay. Kind of appointment setting. Okay, so the purpose of setting an appointment is to set an appointment. Okay? Nothing else. So in this case, let me say, what will be this one? Do you have 5 minutes to sit down and see if, first you want, if someone, what do we want to do here? So you've got, so your appointment is, do you have any cash flow problems right now? Yeah. Would you be interested in spending 5 minutes and finding out how I might be able to help you with your cash flow issues? Okay. How does that sound as an appointment? I'm just making stuff up. I might open all interpretations. Ken, you got any? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ken, you got any other appointments? Just off the top of your head. We're just brainstorming right now.
Right. I think for this particular one, if you could get some money on a short-term basis, which would help your overall cash flow in the future, would you be interested in?
Wow, that's a great one. Did you get that down? Did you write that down?
no, but I will.
It's okay, we've got to record it, so we'll get that one. That was a good one. You want to actually say that again, Drew?
Okay, if you could get some short-term money to expand your business, would you be interested in that? It's kind of, kind of nebulous, which I think is good about statements. It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay.
And then you could
Yeah, that's right. And I think this is the beauty of this one. You can do this in 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most. Then it's probably more likely to be 5. So you can generally find someone can generally give you 5 minutes. Yeah, especially if I've got a cash flow.
You ever have a cash flow? I could do that.
Cool. All right. Okay, so that's the appointment. Okay, so then the next part is all being in the appointment. So the first thing you want to be doing in any appointment is doing a customer report. Okay, people don't do business with people they know and like. Simple as that. So, the trust and rapport is, tell me a little bit, or actually, Sue, why don't you want to run through some of the stuff that you do through your, in the trust and rapport kind of component, building up through the, into identifying customer needs?
Yeah, well, We're gonna do.
She's what it is.
all these
What are you going to
lots of 6 and 7 figure coaches. We've been doing business launches for various products. We just did a huge one for LinkedIn, and we did over $3 million worth of sales. And
I just like to go ask Sue was the top salesperson in there. No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
so basically what I do is I start out saying, just tell me a little bit about your business. You know, and then you can ask some specific questions and you find out pretty quick where their trouble spots are and what they're trying to do with it. And then I also ask them, so what's one of your biggest challenges right now? Or what are your top 3 challenges with your business? So that's a great way with this one too, because you can find out, are they trying to expand it? Are they having cash flow crunches? Are they having problems with employees? Do they need to hire somebody on, but they don't have quite the cash flow, but they can't grow until they have that person? So that could be, that's like, ding, ding, ding. Well, if I could spend 5 minutes and show you a way to help you through that, would you be interested? And then set an appointment, or if they have time right there and you have time, then you could do that. So just really simple, couple questions, and they'll go. I mean, that's all you have to do. I mean, I don't ask really more than that. And it just builds that rapport, and you just kind of feedback what you heard to them. Just use your active listening skills to build that rapport, and they feel heard, and then they trust you to go to that next step.
I have a quick question for Robert. Do you know if they have a penalty fee for building now?
I did not, I hadn't heard that question asked, I didn't care about it.
can you finally answer that?
I will answer that.
Excellent.
I would pretty much say it's per bank. I don't think it is because.
Yeah, my experience with these kind of loans is that there tend to be no penalties. There's no penalty.
Yeah, they want the money back. Well, he said right there, you pay half the money back, you're eligible for another one, right there. So-
Right, which I would assume
Right,
not, but
right.
that's no.
We pay the 10 grand on 50 anyway.
Yeah,
they don't share.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But if you pay up early,
You still have to
take
pay.
the 10 grand.
I bet you.
No.
Okay, we don't know. Okay, well, bottom line is we're arguing. So, Robert, can you finally answer that? Excellent. Thank you, Robert, for delving in and taking the responsibility for that. Okay, all right, share the benefits. Okay, listen to what Robert shared today. What are the benefits that a business would want to use this particular line, the David Allen Capital line? What would be the benefits?
Return, fast money.
Fast up from cash.
Short-term.
Let's flip some of these, which is a quick capital, then you get the CEO back.
I think that's a different discussion. Okay, I'm talking about the benefit for the business taking out this loan. Okay, yeah, okay, that's a different conversation. But it is short, it is fast cash. Okay, based on cash flow, not credit. And by simple, easy. Okay. And by fast, you mean funding within 3 days. A decision, so a decision in 1 day?
A decision in 1 day, funded within 3 to 1 week. Yeah.
Funded within seconds. Okay.
So then on their paybacks, their payments are gonna be debited weekly or?
Debited daily.
Debited daily payback.
Yeah. Because basically that gets, it's easy for business to have, whatever.
A little payment that way, yeah.
That way you're not looking for a.
Okay, so how do we flip that into a benefit? What's the benefit of that to the business?
You don't have one big giant payment, yeah.
Yeah,
No worries.
So-
I think you said like micro payments.
they're micro things. That's what
Daily
they
or
are.
weekly, like.
Okay, you got a daily micro payments. Any other benefits? you see as being a financial expert,
I think a lot of business owners think of the purchasing process, and that's one of the biggest here at DCA. They made it quick, easy, and
Minimal paperwork.
yeah. And so I think more than anything, I know myself as a business owner, I've been able to, fund that expense through current cash flow, but I mean, there's always other things you could do, but I think if I was interested in a loan, I kind of put it out of my mind, because over the years, I've delved into that a little bit, and I was like, I don't have the energy for this. Not taking this, So that's what I see, which is touched on in a lot of those things, is quick funding, and simple.
Yeah. Okay.
Hundreds of dollars and hours trying to put all this documentation together and get turned down 3 months later.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And they get piecemeal to death too, like.
Yeah, right. All right, cool. So it sounds like we got all the benefits.
So does you know anyone that's not in the work?
I think Scott said he's funded, he closed the line with someone. Yeah, there we go, nice. Yeah, but you don't,
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of fraud in that. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, you think, okay.
Right.
All right, okay. We'll come to that. Okay, you're jumping the gun. Okay, the close. Now, my favorite close is always, how do you feel about moving forward? That's the one I always like to use. Now, anyone else got any other closes? Let's get you signed up. Okay.
Where would you like the check mail?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, I was listening to Sue. Sue's has actually become the master of the close. I guess Sue's been doing all these kind of phone sales over the last month or so. Occasionally, I'm in the office when Sue's doing it. Man, Sue. One of the reasons I think that Sue is becoming so good at doing the sales, because she kind of gets through the all the trust and rapport, share the benefits, identify customer needs, share the benefits, components, and then she gets to the close. And it's like, it's very simple. I mean, she's getting really good at some of these closes. And then she just keeps at them. She just keeps at them. And she just keeps on asking in a nice way. Hey, yeah, okay. How do we, let's get you signed up. Which credit card do you want to use? I mean, she's becoming masterful at doing these closes. So,
and what's another getting is that people get so fearful or limit moving forward for whatever reason. And so one of my questions there is, well, if you don't do something now, what are you going to do? What's going to change if you don't change something?
So we'll come. Yeah, we'll come to those in the objection handling. So what was the one that you just used, Sue, in the close? Let's get started. Let's get you started with that. Yeah, it's not.
Let's get that.
Let's get started and see what kind of offers you
get. Yeah. Let's fill out the application. Okay. Let's fill out the application. So how do you feel about moving forward? I love that one.
what offers you get.
Yeah, actually, that's a good one too, Robert.
Are you involved in it? I mean, I'm going backwards. Instead of there, they get their own phone and
So far,
they don't have any.
well,
We
okay,
don't do anything.
I'm sorry I didn't cover that. As soon as they apply, you're gonna get an email from David Allen Capital saying, these guys have applied for pre-qualification. Then you have the ability to call them back and say, hey, I understand you applied, and you can jump in there and take over and become their own broker, or you can just sit back and let Capital have it.
It's very nice to.
Well, he says, I mean, if you in there, just like, you and I mean, you're the advisor, you're the loan broker, you take care of it, you will hold their hand through the process, answer these kinds of questions with them, and you have a better likelihood of getting referrals out of it. Yeah, call Robert, he's a good guy, he helped me get this loan to put these new tables in this restaurant here.
Okay. Right, getting back to the close, what was the thing you said? Let's see what rates you qualify for, what did you say?
Let's see what offers you get.
What offers you get, okay. Cool. All right, so is that, and these are all clauses we can use? All right, okay, what objections do you think we get? So the next one is obviously once you ask for the order, you may or may not get an objection. I'm gonna be, okay, let's go. What?
Yeah. That's why we use micro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so the objection is I don't know if I can pay it out, then great, we understand that, that's one of the advantages of this is that we have these micro payments that get paid out. So that it's working with your cash flow and you barely even notice that you're paying the loan back.
What's the interest rate? Go back to what they said. Well, there's so many different ways. Everybody's got a different term on how an annual percentage rate, monthly percentage rate. You know, what we do is we quote you what the loan will cost. You're going to borrow $50,000, but you're going to pay back 60. So you put out the data. You know what kind of interest rate you got on your home. You know, you bought a home for $250,000 and you're paying back $4,000. That's a 7% interest rate. No way. You know, right. So that's why we said this is a cost. Yeah. This is a cost of the loan. So it's not a percentage rate. You can calculate what that is. And then he said it's a little bit. What does he say? It's higher than a mortgage, but cheaper than a credit card.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay. Okay. What other objections do you think we'd have to handle? Well, I suppose it's the other thing too. This isn't, when you're filling out the form, you're not committing at that stage.
Right.
You know.
They're gonna call you up in 3 months. They're gonna pay, and they're gonna say, this is what we got. You have to make it to late at night, and you put the offer in, make it 2 days. You get all the offers together. So this is what we got. You just have to wait, you know. Put it out. Oh, no.
Cool. Yeah, I've got this great problem.
Gets you a little tired.
Any other?
Sounds too good to be true.
Right?
That's a good one.
We are one of the nation's largest banks that own over $4 billion in these 12 banks alone. It's great. It's, you know, give it a shot.
Yeah, I guess you could say, well, let's apply and see if it is too good.
Yeah.
Come back to whether they're
Yeah.
crazy.
Right, it also says here too that it owns 4 months of your bank statement. May require a copy of your last year's taxes, but could it be your best 4 years? I mean, 4 months in a year?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
so right now would be a good time for us. We got, this is our slowest time.
Then you would supply your taxes from the previous year, which would show that you do have.
I know, but when you're doing something
Trying to
for
get
town,
But again, so if I'm looking at your business, you're about to come into your busy period, right? So, you know, where you need the cash is not in the summer, you need the cash more in the winter, right?
I mean, we need it now, and I don't need it now.
Yeah.
This is a perfect thing.
do they go on your gross or net?
It'll be gross.
See, and that's where we could.
No, the gross is good.
What's your gross?
Gross is better than that.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the
You're
gross is
right,
what you
yeah, I
bring,
was confused.
is what you bring.
Before taxes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So
So are you close on your gross?
Yeah, the gross is way better. Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're trying right now, and then we're
Right.
on Thursday next week.
Yeah, perfect.
What about, a partnership? Going with two people?
But is it, well, yeah, because if it's a legal, if it's a legal partnership, then you're business. That's so it'd be, is a partnership as a, what is it, not an S corp, what's a partnership? Is it an LLC or?
Yeah, well, a partnership is a partnership.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
They're both entities of, organizations.
Yeah.
Right on the front page, it says DAC loans are simple and transparent, you'll be shown a loan amount and the total cost of that loan transparent. Okay.
Cool. All right. Cool. Any other objections we think we come up with at this point?
See how many banks they have access.
He told me, he said 12 several times.
Okay. Cool. All right. Do this. Come on in. That's fine. Yeah. No
We're
worries.
going to get paper out. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. So I don't have any more.
Okay. Okay. And we can come up with that. As they come up, we can work out what they are. Okay. So a couple of things here. A couple of things I just want to kind of finish up on. So this is how you use the sales management. This is an easy process to just, I mean, in what, 15, 20 minutes, we just banged out a sales process right there. Okay. We can use this process for anything we want to do. So I want to kind of show you and see how easy that is. And I mean, literally, we've just developed a sales system in 15, 20 minutes. It's pretty cool, eh? You know, I mean, we can kind of roll through it. Susie, you look like you're about to say something.
Well, I'm gonna call this morning. I got on another. And they were saying that they were gonna roll out so much at, more than they ever had in years. And you were talking earlier that they start really thinking of your business, having a VP of clothing, a VP of nutrition. And I think the party plan, we start really thinking in those terms. It's not like we have to be able to do all of it.
Correct.
We're finding people that have that passion or interest in that particular vertical.
Yeah, no,
That
that.
really pull together.
Yeah, no, and that's what I was about to, and that was kind of where I was going to wrap this up. You know that, you know, and I'll codify this. I'll write this up as as a system. I mean, I'll put this together and get out there. We get someone then. I can see this would be great for a recent graduate, especially someone who's come out of business school or something like that. That is kind of struggling to find some work. Mm-hmm. This would be perfect to get. Was it? Well, this is where this is going. But yeah, I mean, this would be, for people that are wanting to learn sales, or wanting to get into the business, or even want to be doing part-time sales if they're, to pay off a loan or, student loan or whatever. This would be, so I see, I mean, for me, I'm not that interested in going around knocking on doors doing this. It's like, it's not my passion, but I could see that I could then be looking, as you were saying earlier, recruiting people to then come in, to be doing that for you as well. And I think that's, certainly for those that, the millennials that may not be as interested. I mean, not that they're not interested in nutrition, but they're not interested in selling the nutrition. Let's face it, longevity's really developed its products around the, those are, the baby boomer generation where everything's falling apart. But this may be a great one for them as well. So we really, start to look at, I'll write up this is a sales system, for two reasons. One, I want you to get comfortable in doing this yourself. You can do this yourself as well. And then B, finding someone who can do that. So, all right, I'm gonna, in that case.
But it could be a great avenue for you to this might be like maybe doing this, finding somebody, but finding a look, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of people, but it could be like maybe 3 people you're working with and training them how to go out and do it.
Cool.
This makes sense.
Yeah, Marion.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's a baby Sandy.
Protect itself. That's what he's called. Oh, well, I can do that. It's under your grass. Let's come back, all of a sudden, hey, you can have them, you can sign up your own thing.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later.